Caravaggio. Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio was an Italian artist active in Rome, Naples, Malta, and Sicily between 1593 and 1610. His paintings, which combine a realistic observation of the human state, both physical and emotional, with a dramatic use of lighting, had a formative influence on the Baroque school of painting. Caravaggio trained as a painter in Milan under Simone Peterzano, who had himself trained under Titian. In his early 20s, Caravaggio moved to Rome, where, during the late 16th and 17th century, many huge new churches and palazzi were being built, and paintings were needed to fill them. During the Counter-Reformation, the Roman Catholic Church searched for religious art with which to counter the threat of Protestantism. And for this task, the artificial conventions of Mannerism, which had ruled art for almost a century, no longer seemed adequate. Caravaggio's novelty was a radical naturalism that combined close physical observation with a dramatic, even theatrical use of chiaroscuro. This came to be known as tenebrism, the shift from light to dark with little intermediate value. He burst upon the Rome art scene in the 1600s with the success of his first public commission, The Martyrdom of St. Matthew and the Calling of St. Matthew. Thereafter, he never lacked commissions or patrons, yet he handled his success poorly. He was jailed on several occasions, vandalized his own apartment, and ultimately had a death warrant issued from him by the Pope. An early published notice on him, dating from 1604 and describing his lifestyle 3 years previously, tells how, after a fortnight's work, he will swagger about for a month or two with a sword at his side and a servant following him, from one ball court to the next, ever ready to engage in a fight or an argument, so that it is most awkward to get along with him. He was involved in a brawl in Malta in 1608 and another in Naples in 1609, possibly a deliberate attempt on his life by unidentified enemies. This encounter left him severely injured. A year later, at the age of 38, he died under mysterious circumstances in Porto Ercole, reportedly from a fever while on his way to Rome to receive a pardon. Infamous while he lived, Caravaggio was forgotten almost immediately after his death, and it was only in the 20th century that his importance to the development of Western art was discovered. Despite this, his influence on the new Baroque style that eventually emerged from the ruins of Mannerism was profound. It can be seen directly or indirectly in the work of Rubens, Giuseppe de Ribera, Bernini, and Rembrandt. And artists in the following generation heavily under his influence were called the Caravaggisti, or Caravagguesti, I don't know how to say that last one, as well as Tenebrist or Tenebrossi, shadowist. Underburn Geoffroy, Paul Valeri's secretary, said of him, "What begins in the work of Caravaggio is quite simply modern painting." Caravaggio was born in Milan, where his father, Fermo Merisi, was a household administrator and architect decorator to the Marchese of Caravaggio, a town not far from the city of Bergamo. His mother, Lucia Aratori, came from a proprietary family of the same district. In 1576, the family moved to Caravaggio to escape a plague which ravaged Milan, and Caravaggio's father died there in 1577. It is assumed that the artist grew up in Caravaggio, but this family kept up connections with the Sforzas and with the powerful Colonna family, who were allied by marriage with the Sforzas and destined to play a major role later in Caravaggio's life. Caravaggio's mother died in 1584. The same year, he began his 4-year apprenticeship to the Milanese painter Simone Peterzano. Described in the contract of apprenticeship as a pupil of Titian, Caravaggio appears to have stayed in the Milan Caravaggio area after his apprenticeship ended, but it is possible that he visited Venice and saw the work of Giorgione, whom Federico Zuccari later accused him of imitating. He would also have become familiar with the art treasure of Milan, including Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, and with the regional Lombard art, a style which values simplicity and attention to naturalistic detail and was closer to the naturalism of Germany than to the stylized formality and grandeur of Roman Mannerism. Caravaggio's epitaph was composed by his friend Michelangelo Merisi. It reads, Michelangelo Merisi, son of Fermo di Caravaggio, in painting not equal to a painter, but to nature itself, died in Port Ercole, betaking himself hither from Naples, returning to Rome, 15th of August, in the year of our Lord, 1610. He lived 36 years, 9 months, and 20 days.